And starting stream right now, we should be live momentarily. Hello everybody! We literally just got back home from being out for most of the afternoon. And we're in a good mood for a Friday in July. So we'll be trying to finish Ratchet and Clank 2 for the day. Today. Because John's going to be gone next week. Alexa and I will be doing something different. And then rest of July, I want to be doing something different.
Yep.
To the Yetis!
To the Yetis.
Yetis?
Yetis!
I cannot do a good Zoidberg.
Yetis. You gotta it's kind of like...
You gotta unleash your inner...
Yeah, John, that's more a Guillemon voice.
Listen, John.
Zoidberg is deeper.
Unleash your inner Jewish lobster!
Which is ironic because no shellfish.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yes. So yeah, July is turning into the month of model kits for Alexis and I because it's here. The Mighty Strike Freedom. It's back heavy. I need to put it on a display stand.
I mean, to be fair, all strikes need to be on a display stand.
True. Also got in Gingai-O, and we were just at Hobby Town earlier today. Got in Ryu-O Maru. For those who are following the Super Robot Wars reviews, we'll be talking about this guy in about 2 months.
Once you've found all of its parts, you'll have to go to another planet.
Oh, please tell me I don't have...
And of course, you're 10,000 years too early to defeat him, Ultraman Zero.
Yep, I got that too. I got that one too, and Ultraman Z.
And of course, the big boy, Tekkaman Blade Blaster Mode. I have been adoring this from afar since they announced it a while ago. I'm glad I got it, and I'm probably going to build this later tonight. So I'm just in a good mood with regards to build stuff.
Yeah, and I posted when I got today on social media on my Twitter, so like I don't feel like I want to repeat myself too much, but I'm a happy Lexi. I have model kits to build, so if I ever having a if I ever have a stressful day, I have something to look forward to.
Everything is awful, but we have small victories.
And I have to go back to Smog to get the bits of the Hypnomatic because that's what I need to actually go forward.
Yeah. Golden Girl, so Des, do you remember the Pelu from Final Fantasy X, the humanoids with the duck masks? Vaguely. I do not remember them being a species that was named, but I can recall most of the ones that were named. Were they the short ones or the tall ones that it had the harp hand? They're probably going into 14, which is why Golden Garo brought this up, because of the recent release of that. Speaking of which, we will be getting back to that in August. I'm going to be taking some Saturdays off. We're going to try and do longer sessions on those days. Maybe a mix-in of some weekday afternoons for that stuff, but we'll have to see. Golden Garo, they were short. Okay, yeah, I remember the one that had that recurring quest on the Moonflow in Final Fantasy X too.
Dear Crystal, I swear if someone is fighting evil by moonlight and winning love by daylight, I'm out of here. Ooh, I am...
That's
Sailor Moon.
That's the Sailor Moon dub song.
I never watched it.
Which is surprising because a fair chunk of this Sailor Moon that was imported was aired on like common network TV and not locked off to cable.
Really?
Yeah. There were 4 seasons that were imported. The first 2 seasons were run in syndication. The back 2, Sailor S and Sailor Super S, which were the Deathbusters arc and the one with Pegasus, respectively, which you wouldn't know, John. Those were on Toonami, or right before Toonami sometimes.
Yeah, if it wasn't on PBS or Kids WB in the early days, I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Yeah, it was associated with Fox affiliates. Like, it was one of those run right before Fox Kids, but Saban didn't want it part of the Fox Kids block proper.
Terror of Death. In other news, Ruby found a new home.
Yes, connected with Viz, which, considering they released the manga entries for that series, that doesn't surprise me. also new official art that teases they might be finding a way to fund a Volume 10, so happy days for RWBY fans.
Yep. Please.
Goldengar, speaking of, I can message you to get my returner code since August. It'd be 90 days, making you eligible. There's a Dragon Mount that you can get. I would actually appreciate that.
Golgaro, the hidden fourth member of our Sentai team.
Thank you very much, Golden.
Here, Crystal, are you going to get Gundam Breaker 4? I have the physical edition on pre-order. Unfortunately, physical edition pre-orders are closed. We're going to be doing PS4, PS5, and we will be streaming it, but because of Bandai's nonsense, we likely will not be doing that until early September. And by Bandai's nonsense, I mean the physical edition will not ship until, and arrive until, early mid-September. Despite the game releasing end of August.
Ooh.
So yeah, we'll probably be doing Breaker in September.
Hopefully after I will be, once I get my copy of Space Marine 2, the Quickening. Yeah, no. Oh, but
Does it take place on Zeist?
Oh.
No.
Oh, Bradley Harris. Yes, your P5 reviews motivated me to start a new P5R playthrough, and I forgot how fun that game is.
It is a fun game. It is still time management hell, as all Persona games are, but it's still fun to experience.
Oh, that just takes you back. So, where are the hypno parts?
I think I have to go.
You have to go deeper.
Oh, son of a!
You have to go deeper.
You went the wrong way.
Don't! Well, I took the day off from work today after 4th of July, which was fine because we were pretty full up on staff, and I told them, hey, if you need extra help, give me a call.
Oh.
Which they didn't, so thank goodness. So all is well.
Ooh, new zombie movie set in a workplace. Call it Staph Infection.
Ha. Here, Crystal, how come Persona 5 Royal is easier to platinum trophy than vanilla Persona 5? Probably because of the game balance fixes. I don't think I talked about it in the reviews I've released yet, but them making the gun, did I?
Yeah, no, you did.
Yeah, in the parts I released, about how they balanced gun. Just anything with the gun skills.
If somebody didn't want to play Persona 5 Royal because of their experience with Persona 5, just play Royal. It is the default better game,
Oh, Golden Garo's returner event shoot. They were thinking of one that was last year.
Oh well.
Hey, but it's the thought that counts.
And it's very nice of you.
It was.
Yep, you get a virtual cookie.
Levitator.
I believe I can fly.
Toku, what is Gundam Breaker 4 on? I loved GB3. It is on PS4, PS5, I think the Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
It might not be Xbox. I might be misremembering that. And it is co-op play up to teams of 3, as long as you are on either exclusively the PlayStation servers or the Nintendo servers. Because of course you can't do cross-console crossplay. Too many crosses. Might also be for PC. I'm not certain on that because I usually don't do PC versions. Here, Crystal, thoughts on the 1994 The Mask movie? I like Jim Carrey, so I liked that movie.
Oh, with Gundam Breaker 4, question. When we eventually stream that, should we stream it our entire build process of our custom units, or should we prep those ahead of time and then go straight into it?
I figure we're not going to do all of the game as streaming, so just so we can actually complete it. We'll probably just do co-op play on the days we stream. So, we can play freely otherwise.
Yeah, if we went stream, if we did our own things like our customizations on stream, it would take a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
Black Century King, oh, before I forget, Alexis, sorry to tell you this, but I didn't get the job at Outback. Oh, sorry, man. Like, I've been there. It's like,
Yeah.
it sucks, but hey, you got the interview. That's a lot farther than most people get. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. It is so easy to ghost people on even getting an interview.
I remember I applied for a job at US Bank and I got ghosted after the interview, which stunk because it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah. And Garo's already got their skills maxed for Pictomancer and Viper, the new classes for the new expansion of 14. Death, has Sunrise given us any news on the second and third Hathaway Flash movies? No, and they just announced a new, completely different Universal Century project, so who even knows?
You don't want to do that when you're... Like, you gotta focus on one thing at a time. It makes it easier.
I really think that they shouldn't have done Hathaway's Flash before they did Seed Freedom, but at Sunrise, they always think Universal Century is going to sell big, and it has not in decades.
Boom. Boom. Yeah, Black Century King, like, just keep at it. You're gonna get that job eventually. Just keep your mind open to, like, possibilities. Except for door-to-door salesman, don't do that. Like, it's like, that is actual...
Like, I'm considering buying a no solicitation sign, because every time someone comes by to solicit, they come off as really, really scummy.
And creepy. It's just creepy.
Like, I know it's the job, but... I've never had experience with anyone selling anything door-to-door that has ended up going well.
Come on, get me there, get me there.
To be fair, the Hathaway Flash movie, from what I heard, was really good. Yeah, but I think Sunrise might have gotten cold feet on the project, because Hathaway's Flash is one of those final stories of Universal Century that kind of showcases, hey, the Universal Century's Federation government are actually the bad guys, and we have spent the last several decades refusing to acknowledge, oh, hey, the Federation are actually the bad guys.
Are we the baddies?
What? I just can't think of anything worse as a symbol than a skull. Have they ever had any skull motifs for their...
the Crossbone Vanguard?
No.
The Federation has not, no.
Yeah, because if they ever decided to do that, it'd be like a... Oh, crud, we're the baddies. I mean...
When in doubt, go up.
I guess... oh yeah, there is a pad there, so I can just go ahead.
Is that the same pad that you landed on?
Yeah, so I think... No, I didn't land on it, so I gotta... Get up there.
Up there, up there.
Can't you, like, long jump? Or, like, squat jump?
No.
Is it too far to wall jump?
Let me try again. Yeah, it's too wide. Try another...
That's what she said.
Okay, yeah, try and jump around the ledge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's try this way. Oh, phooey.
Yeah, so you probably need to go back
Oh,
and...
wait, can't you long, high jump? Yeah, you have to probably try that again.
Yeah, and try and get up one more floor.
I had to go for the bolts. All because I want the plasma coil.
Also other thing that happened this week that was out of nowhere, Magic Knight Rare, new animation project, that was a...
No one was calling that.
Nobody had that on their bingo card, that's for sure.
Let me see if I can just...
Nice shooting, Tex.
I'll just skip it.
Okay, several questions. HJ5, so, how good is Viz Media with properties? It's a 50-50. It really depends on, like,
They don't distribute everything they have ever licensed. Like, Viz is the owner for the rights for the Zoids anime, and unless there's some conflict with Hasbro Takara, there is no reason for them to have not done a Blu-ray of those series yet.
yeah, but, like, Viz Media is, like, they're not actively malicious, like...
No, they're not. They don't release a lot of stuff that I have... Okay, they were a distributor for Shonen Jump, so that doesn't count. They haven't done a lot recently that I have been engaged
I thought
with.
you were one of them. Dear, dear, what I'd give for even an ounce of their feral ignorance.
A burden often accompanies self-awareness, sir.
Living with the abject savagery of one's own kith and kin is quite more than one can bear sometimes. No, the torment of it all.
I understand. I, too, am of a series designed to destroy.
In that case, I have something that may interest you. But may I first humbly request a meager few bolts for food?
Oh,
Lovely long time since I've eaten.
This is Darla Gratch reporting live from
anyways, so, Davis Hayden, I can see the Federation just turning into the Imperium of Man from 40K.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Terror of Death, to answer your question, so what is the new UC project that Sunrise just announced?
Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom, I was just double checking that. That's not an actual anime, that's my mistake. It is an upcoming interactive virtual reality film. So it's a promotional thing.
Of course. There may soon be more than enough proto-pets for everyone. Darla Gratch, Channel 64 News.
Bye, Trisha Takanawa.
We're all dead, man, we're all dead!
The entire population of that planet will be devoured.
Now, for people
Unless
wondering
we
about
get there in
Ruby,
time.
I think, like, best case scenario is they do a full animated volume 10. But okay scenario is they do a manga volume 10. They have done manga adaptations of some of the previous arcs, so that's not the worst thing. And, like, we got the entire expanded universe Avatar stuff through comics form, or despite not wanting to promote Joss Whedon stuff, we've got Buffy Season 8 and Angel Season 6.
Oh, Black Century King. How do you feel about the news about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying due to not only a lack of an anime, but also the overcomplication of the game over the years?
It's Konami's own fault if it's actually happening. It's like they keep doing the wrong things in everything but the OCG to get people as players.
Like, and also, so there is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush anime going on right now that I've heard decent things, or at least I know it's not. I haven't seen it myself, so I can't really speak to its quality. But I have heard from several players that play the TCG don't really want to engage with the game anymore because there are so many cards out there that are so
They make them mandatory for metagame play, and yet they put them at such high rarities and such low amounts that they are ridiculously expensive to even update a deck. Like, we're talking $500 for minor deck updates.
Or, and the other problem is there are several combos that exist in the game as it is currently that are brain dead in terms of how you can execute them and completely lock out your opponent, which
basically you're one turn, you either win on turn 1 or lock your opponent out on turn 1, or you can't play the game.
For me, it's one of those feelings just that all the extra cards, how it just feels like, come on guys, just...
Well, like, again, the different card types, that was never the problem. What Konami kept doing was releasing power creeping busted cards with no regard for, like, how that would affect the overall gameplay.
Yeah, it's like, when they create Pendulum Monsters, they were not immediately the game breaker. They were designed in such a way where they supported play of everything else. They worked to make everything playable. And then after the Pendulum seasons of Arc V ended, that is when they broke everything just to promote Link Monsters, because they not only made it so that Pendulum cards were not playable in the ways they were before to support everything, but it made it so that you absolutely had to use Link Monsters to use everything that you wanted to play or used before. So you either had to swap over to play the game how you wanted to, or you couldn't play. Whereas with Pendulums, it was always the option to use them. You could use them, you could not use them, and they were supporting all the other formats so everything could be playable. Ever since the Brains era with the introduction of Link Monsters, everything has been broken since. They have been failing to do damage control for close to 9 years now. Almost a decade of overtime greater failures just because they didn't see the original problem. And even when they dialed back all the limitations that Link Monsters imposed, it didn't yet fix the problem because part of the rollback was just power creeping everything even further. And especially nowadays, it's like the only comparably expensive card game is just Magic the Gathering, and even there, that's because they force the card game out of cycle. They put a limit on how old a certain set of cards can be, so to keep players buying the newer sets if they want to stay competitive in the metagame. Pokemon it has its own power creep issues, but I'm not aware enough of the game to be knowledgeable on it. I know that a bunch of older cards are still valuable to an extent, but the game that's like, if you want to be competitive, make it interesting, and make it cheap, that's actually the Digimon card game right now, and that's part of why the Digimon card game has probably been doing so well. It's been keeping everything distributed and on a even power tier, for the most part, from what I hear. Again, I have not played the Digimon card game. I mainly hear about any big news about it secondhand from either YouTubers I follow, case in point, Mega Capital G, or just Yoshi Sudarso, who is a hyper-competent player of the game, just gushing about it. And Mega Capital G, again, this is a YouTuber, only brings that up because just to compare and contrast Konami's own failings with the current state of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame, and comparing it against how Digimon is just, like, much more interesting to play right now, for far cheaper.
But yeah, like, so do I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Will die anytime soon? No, but
probably not.
Probably not. But if it goes at the rate that it's currently at, then yeah, we're gonna start having to ask that question. Yeah.
Because another one of the reasons why it's been doing so badly is not just like the power creep of the cards; it's how many sets they're releasing, which only have 2 draws. That one chase card you need to absolutely buy in multiples to stay competitive, and then rebuild your deck around it. Or 2, legacy support cards. And those can only last for so long.
And with those legacy support cards, sometimes you get an absolute win, like the Yubel stuff, or those Yubel cards, or you get duds. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that don't actually, like, do what you would want, like, your legacy supports to do.
Yeah. Or it's the same deluge of legacy support that only really makes playable again stuff that was already playable, except for the cards that were introduced into the metagame as the really expensive chase cards.
But yeah, let's not talk about the death of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of you know what time of the year it is.
July.
It's roughly around the time when Kazuki Takahashi passed away.
Oh yeah.
They're like gremlins.
Right there, so it feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just surviving a nostalgia bait at this point. It feels like it's always legacy support for Duel Monsters and GX. Kinda, yeah. Like, almost everything has gotten legacy support at this point, so they're being even more obtuse with what they make into new cards, which is becoming more and more the problem. It's like, at what point is it legacy support? At what point are you just retraining stuff over and over again?
Like, I would love more fortunately support that could better take, that would be, I don't want them to be meta competitive. I just want them to like be able to like, you know, do new, like give me a, I would settle for like more fortunately synchros or like something that helps like manipulate their level stuff, right? Like,
So you want more support spells and not necessarily more monsters.
right, because I like maybe like one or two more monsters to like help. So in the event that you can't summon up like one of the synchro mons, like Fortunately Every or whatever, you would have options for damage. You know, but they're spellcasters. They're they're magical girls. So you know, what if you have a spell card that you remember? You know, Time Passage is the one that increases Fortunately's level by like 3 or whatever.
Yep.
Like imagine if you had quickly play spell cards that it's like you can increase or decrease their level, and then that gives you a different effect. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. But yeah, Bradley Harris has been commenting on what they made into archetypes and just repossess of desperation. One of the new ones they announced is an entire support a support archetype for Metal Morph. And it's like, wow, you guys dug into something deep for something no one really wanted back, and yet you made it seem like this could almost be good if it weren't for how toxic the metagame was. Like, if they want to make people come back to the game, you have to make it so, like, you need to make it so that not one or two decks exclusively are hyper-competitive in the metagame. They needed to bring it to a point where anything could be competitive. And again, I go back to the Arc V era on that, where Blue Eyes White Dragons won a world championship. That is the kind of situation we want. Not specifically because the Blue Eyes decks, even back then, were not the best thing, but everyone really liked it. Everyone really liked the support cards. They made it work. You should be able to have that situation with any deck you want to play, instead of just this one chase thing that they made super powerful until they decide to finally ban it. And the fact they keep having to ban decks that are hyper-competitive in the metagame to break them, that is telling. Or bringing every deck that's up to that same level of broken playability, that should not be what they keep doing. The ban list should be emergency fixes so the game stays open for everybody, not to just say, well, yeah, we've let this stay competitive for long enough, let's actually lock it out so they have to buy new things. No, and that's how Konami has been handling the game for too long.
Skyfire 001. My kingdom for more super quant cap cards.
I would not argue with that.
Joey the Cow. Good God, fighting the Protopets feels like fighting dog-sized fleas.
Ugh, God, you're right. That is a good analogy. They're like, they
Oh,
spawn.
you can buy the plasma coil.
I'm gonna do that now, yeah. Hopefully I don't have to buy anything else.
Oh no, dog-sized fleas. You know what that means? J.J. Abrams has made another Cloverfield sequel. Am I wrong?
Okay, so I'm gonna answer DJ Togu's question and then Kira Crystal's question. So if Gundam does another new timeline again soon, what would you like them to do to breathe more fresh air into the franchise? Honestly, like, I don't think they can do another new timeline already. I would honestly say, let's get back to the 80s Stella. Is it 80s Stella? You know, G-Witch's time?
I mean, you could tell more stories in G-Witch's timeline, because they didn't exactly expand on it. They did the Okuchi thing and kept the focus small.
Yeah, so, like, there is plenty of more stuff to do. Like, I can imagine a G-Witch sequel, Witch from Mercury sequel series that focuses on Eri. Like, maybe they got her, like, a new robot body or something like that.
Hey guys, take a look.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
Dexter.
that's cool.
They were friends. But yeah, since granted, the only thing there is like with how the Gundams were created in that timeline from that Gundam technology, that would limit how much you could involve Gundams in all of that. And considering a lot of the conflict was being caused by political and economic disparities, and Renee did a stopgap measure on that, it's questionable how you you'd set that up while retaining those elements.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think we should visit that timeline at least once more before we do something completely brand new.
And to be fair, from the extra mechs they're doing through T-Bad Night, there's clearly G-Witch side stories where there's stuff in there, it's just not in the same... There's not the same vein of overall storytelling capability as some of the other timelines might have. Like, Seed has had the Astray stories run consistently for 20 years for side story material. Double O is kind of like, they're locked up. There's not much you could do there without messing with the overall Reformation storyline there. G Gundam, you could feasibly do a sequel of the next Gundam fight, which they didn't exactly tease of what they're doing, but it's definitely something more appreciated, would be more appreciated now than when they originally did it.
Yeah.
No one wants Gundam Wing on Mars. No one wants that Frozen Teardrop story to actually go through with, because it undermines everything of what that series did. Just no.
Okay, so moving on. Pure Crystal, how come a lot of anime fans keep saying, oh, this new protagonist can beat Goku? Simple answer, power scaling, dumb power scaling arguments are as old as time itself. Like,
yeah.
Before it was Goku, I'm sure it was some other super powerful shonen character. But also, I think it comes from...
I don't think you're gonna break that, John.
Damn it.
You can try.
I'll break capitalism!
I'm sorry, John, but you already became a capitalist, and it shows you decked out in brand deals.
Pure Crystal, I think they were teasing an OVA for Gun Diplo, nothing paid for it. That was the one for the Exia Repair 4. That was a magazine story. That was not planned as an OVA, as far as I remember.
The Terror of Death. Does anybody besides me want a new space opera anime that isn't a mecha series? The children yearn for Space Battleship Commando.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got 2 sets of Yamato sequels that have not been imported yet. Thanks, Crunchyroll, for fucking that up.
Really? Oh, come on.
They did 2205, and then they did 3199?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So they remade both of the last 2 original Yamato sequels, and we've not heard hide nor hair of them over here because someone fucking dropped the ball on that.
John 556. Anything you'd want to see in the next Super Robot Wars game?
Dynazenon?
Dynazenon. I think that's an obvious one.
No, Universal Century Gundam.
Yeah, no Universal Century. Like, we are...
Like, go to a different timeline. Utilize a different timeline as the main framing device. There are options there.
Personally, I would like to see OG Ultramen. Like the original Ultramen, because...
Or at least Zero.
Yeah. Zero, some of the newer guys, or just...
I mean, if they're gonna put Ultra and Zero in that, they could easily just do that as a Gundam 00 stuff, because, like, Mamoru Miyano would already be there.
But, I mean, like, but if I'm thinking, like, games, I've already mentioned this last stream, but I would like more cross-series combo attacks. You know, get creative with it. Bradley Harris, Braeburn. I want to see Braeburn in a Robot Wars game.
Everyone wants Braeburn.
Well, he's in Robot Wars DD, and people were... I remember this, the live stream when that happened, and everybody was just shocked at how fast it took, you know?
Yeah, it's like they clearly planned that one.
Yeah. The Terror of Death wants to use the post-disaster timeline and after-war timeline.
After war, I'm not certain they could do. Post-disaster, there's definitely flexibility there. Because it's like, they already answered the central conflict of after war Gundam X, that's the entire obsession over new types.
Hey, you got a pair of scissors over there? I gotta cut a tag. Jesus!
I took them at the handle first.
But you're still chucking a blade at me!
And yes, King Oger getting in there would be perfect.
Yeah, honestly, like, King Oger in a Robot Wars game, you could do a lot of cool stuff with that, like, their setting and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
hell, you have that easy divide to, like, send them to Earth, and replace that with where they would intersect with the Kyoryuger stuff, the crossover stuff.
Like,
there's that great, perfect divide there.
Like, I can only, and, because they're Chikyu's in a different planet, the Chikyu has, like, its own lore and, like, own mythologies, but this is Robot Wars. You could, like, start, like, having some fun with it, you know what I mean? Like, how many mecha enemies, like, are planet jumpers, or...
You are getting...
Gearswell gives us Transformers. That is explicitly locked out because of Takara.
You, sir, look like someone who could use a
Here,
hypnomatic.
I'm gently handing you a pair of
Just
scissors.
bring us the part, and we'll make it for free.
For a fee. A very small fee.
So, where do I find the hypnomatic stuff? Alexis, could you... With your phone?
I'm monitoring chat.
Davis!
Oh, how much is that? Oh, how much is that? Do I have to pay that guy?
No, I have to find 3 parts of the hypnomatic. So I have to find it, then go back to him.
Thing was collected in Allegan City during the Ride the Train Rails section.
Okay. And the third one?
The third was collected in Greblin in trade moonstones for hypnomatic parts, after the Mystic gave it to Raj in exchange for 16 moonstones.
Okay, so I'll do this, then go back to...
Yeah. Bradley Harris. Imagine the King Oger cast interacting with the Code Geass crew. Honestly, I had this image in my head of them summoning God King Oger, but to help pilot all 20 mechs, they incorporate not only some of the Black Knights, but also the Student Council.
Honestly, I kind of want to write that crossover. I wish I was better at writing fanfiction, because I have ideas for that on how to handle basically the entire amalgamated storyline.
Skyfire, has Aquarion been in Robot Wars? Yes.
Several times.
Yep.
The original series, not Eval or Logos.
DJ Toku, given Lelouch's color palette, would he be Hachi Oger or Papillon Oger?
I put him in the Kawagata Oger suit just because of the character story stuff between him and Gira.
Yeah.
Like, I know most people would say, look, Talon's the red, and it's like, yes, exactly. Like, there's no reason you can't palette swap the team colors.
Put him in the silver.
Cure Crystal. Now I have this image in my head of Orange, Paige Testarossa, and Tsubasa Kazunari singing together.
I mean, how would they? They have the same voice.
Well, they can do it. Nana Mizuki is probably capable of pulling a Kenji Oba. You know, being in 3 places at once.
But I mean, how would you tell if the differences of all them singing together just sound like the same person?
Witchcraft. Nana Mizuki is magical. She can do as she pleases.
Yeah, to get the third one, you need to fight the Yetis.
You hear that, Sean?
Fight the Eddies, I know. Thank Christ I...
Bradley Harris, this is how it takes practice. Writing takes practice. We are all bad at it first. Yes, I know, and you don't think that I haven't had practice with how I've been writing reviews for the last decade and a half? It's a matter of time investment to just get everything out of my head.
Odette knocked over John's laptop.
Luckily it was closed, so nothing is ruined.
But
It's fine.
but like because of that, John got distracted and got railed from behind.
It's her arch nemesis. She had to have a victory. In fact, let me guess, she's sitting on it right now.
No.
Oh.
And there's a cat. And it's right behind John. Is the camera picking up the cat?
Camera's not picking up the cat.
Like, the cat is there, chat, I swear. He's a magical creature.
Is she alive or dead?
Now the camera can... and she's gone.
He's a cryptid.
Jeez Louise!
This is what was known as Chicago traffic.
How did this not yet win the Yeti Award?
Because I think the Yeti Award is... Like, the game has already introduced rail sections before, so that's not a problem. The Yeti section is probably just...
New mechanic, gotcha.
And also just how brutal the Yetis are. Away with you!
Gremlin, Mogwai, mother effers. Seriously, they might as well be Mogwai.
We have to nuke this entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
I was right there! I was right there. I don't think I'm going to be beating this game anytime soon.
Skyper 001, also Voltron. Which Voltron? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Voltanius Voltron?
No. Is that the vehicle one?
No, that's Die Runner 15.
I just love that Robot Chicken sketch. That's like...
It takes them forever to combine, and then they combine in the wrong order, so they have to start from the beginning.
And then like the people who are under attack are just like panicking. One guy's screaming. It's like, is Voltron there? Yes, son, he's right here.
Black Century King. Hey, Des, how powerful do you think a fusion between Rin from Fate and Misaka from a certain scientific railgun would be? Like, would they
I mean, you can't really combine their power sets just because of how magic and Esper abilities are pretty much incompatible.
But they would combine into like one super tsundere.
Yeah, it's like they're the best tsunderes in modern fiction simply because they're balanced and they have explicit triggers over their insecurities that make them far more appreciable as characters because, you know, there's an off switch to the things that people get aggravated over, and they also undergo immense character development to actually acknowledging their affections for their paramour.
Okay, John 556, I would love to see Lelouch and Joker from Persona 5 interact.
Yes!
Also, why did...
Oh, look at that.
Sorry.
The fact that Persona 5 has never gotten a crossover with Code Geass is baffling to me.
No. Issue 5, so there's a new Geass anime. Is it a sequel or something you can just jump into? I bring it up several times in the larger Code Geass review. Rose of the Reflection is explicitly a sequel to the movie timeline. The movie timeline is garbage.
DJ Toku, is your cat secretly a yokai?
Might be, we don't know.
She might be, yeah.
I'm a yokai, though.
No.
Okay. Now to get that final part.
So, John, are you ready for an abominable time? Yeti or not, here they come.
No. And for people who are wondering about the Rose series, we're not really watching it, but from everything we've seen, it's focused on two things. One, fan service, and two, basically redoing with the female protagonist Lelouch's story, and we technically had that like 3 or 4 times already. It's like I said in the reviews, you cannot move forward, you cannot move back. If you just continue to do the same thing over and over again, you're either going to make the perspective of the original series worse, so why make a sequel to it, or your people are not going to be appreciative of the new content.
Oh, man.
It won't budge.
Violence is not the answer. Can you move this rock, sir?
It's like, as I also said about that, the baggage is what's going to harm it more than anything, as they did not leave the franchise in a position where they could continue to tell stories in it without addressing the previous problems. If they don't want to address it, there's always going to be that new surrounding snack.
These wayward forces.
Okay. Get these things.
Yeah, we're honestly more interested in Grendizer U, but it just released and there are no competent English subtitles. Someone tried to fan sub it or do a transcript rip, and it turned out pretty badly according to Lou, aka Strongest Human, aka one of the fan subbers out there.
Bradley Harris, so if Alexis is a yokai, does that mean one of you has a yokai watch or something?
I mean, I don't like wearing watches, so...
Nice.
Although I do have an oversized watch that acts as an alarm clock. It vibrates, and physical contact is a lot more effective in waking me up than sound alarms. Simply due to my noise sensitivity, to actually sleep, my brain completely turns off most of my sense of hearing.
No, you see, what happened was, one day, Des over there invoked my power, and I was summoned here, and now I refuse to leave.
I invited you to be our roommate.
Exactly,
and if you were not here, John and I would have liked to kill each other.
Yep, pretty much.
Yay,
we don't dislike each other, we are just very clashing personalities.
I prevent the undeath of people.
Yeah, because for people who don't know about this, 7 years ago, after I got my job at Amazon, John complained to me privately on Facebook about his difficulty in getting paid through his job at the time, which was at a rather nice marketplace. We've been there. I agree. It seemed like a very nice place to work. But it just didn't pay enough. So, since I was going to be moving out of my mom's place at the time anyways, I suggested, hey, you want to be my roommate and join me working at Amazon? He said yes, and then we also got the idea of inviting Alexis to join us, because Alexis had similar complaints to me about her current at the time job. And considering Amazon has good trans healthcare, and good trans healthcare, that was seen as a bonus for that. And then everything fell apart because our asshole general manager decided to terminate these two when they had an argument, which was not grounds for termination, but that guy is now sitting in jail because he was stealing the paychecks of people he terminated without cause.
What?
Yeah.
He was doing that?
John, I told you about this months ago.
I didn't know. I thought he was just fired.
I knew he got fired. I didn't know what.
I knew he'd been fired. I just didn't know that was the reason. That part I didn't know.
Yeah, I told you that.
I don't remember that, but I do remember he was fired for being an asshole. But hallelujah, karma, he's been fired.
Yeah, now the unfortunate side is for the people he wronged, they can't actually admit to that part legally. So it's not like they'll give you your jobs back or back pay, which is the really horrible, horrible part of that.
Yeah, it's like, so you hired a guy who is a scummy thief who screwed people over, and you're not going to do anything else.
Yeah, it's like, I will say this. My current job at the local deli, it doesn't pay a lot either, but you know what, I feel like I'm treated with more respect there than...
Yeah.
And stuff. It's just...
The ironic thing is, had we kept on calling out, hey, you two were not terminated under proper terms, they would have likely been fired earlier.
Yeah.
Because they had a collection of those complaints getting filed to upper management, and that's why they finally came down on the guy.
The fact that this guy was stealing from us, just that he stole. he was a pretty crappy manager to begin with, so this is like, wow, this is like on top of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like after I got fired from Amazon, that was like probably one of the other lowest points in my life.
Like, both of us were pretty much in emotional straits because we both blamed ourselves for it.
Yeah. And well, you shouldn't have had the circumstances of why you had the stupid argument in the first place were on you guys. The rest of it was Varun pulling rank to just fuck other people over and HR having to just deal with it.
Yep.
On a more lighter note, first off, Cure Crystal, to answer your question, yes, Grandize Review, that is part of the Mossinger franchise.
In fact, Koji Kabuto and Sayaka Yumi are in the new series.
Yes.
HJ5,
Your
Alexis is
arrival
announcing
with
her
the
cameo in
Moonstone
Conquer
is
Ranger's
most
30th
fortuitous,
anniversary.
For it is in this
It's,
very
yokai.
moment that I am able to move the rock.
Junior is back in that, apparently.
Coincidence.
Thank you, sir.
Apparently his
That
actor's
is
actually
most
really
helpful.
happy about that.
Your gratitude is comforting, child. I have also found a piece of something called a hypnomatic. You may have it in exchange for more moonstones.
Back to the Yetis!
Wait, I thought you had no need for material possessions.
Please, do not lay your burdens
This guy
upon
is
me
smoking
now.
the
I
moonstones.
am weary from lifting them.
He has to be.
And I must
Also, I'm pretty sure that's the way I can get into Angela's place, so
Yeah.
I'll just skip the hypnomatic part for now, unless I come to a point where I really do need it.
You have how many? Need how many moonstones? I know you need
Okay,
16
no,
total, but what
actually,
do
I
you
need to
have?
get-
Yeah, you need...
How many do you have?
Explore the caves.
But you do need to get 16.
Yeah.
So back to the Yetis.
Back to the Yetis. Bastards.
I honestly don't think this is the worst thing. Like, the
It's
cloning
not.
Yetis is frustrating, but I don't think that's the worst thing.
And at least I'll be able to get some stuff. Well, experience and for my weapons.
Yeah, just bounce them.
Bounce! Bounce! Pogo,
Yeah.
pogo, pogo, pogo!
Black Sentry, by the way, Cure Crystal, I do not have, Crunchyroll anymore, so I appreciate your recommendation, but Crunchyroll are literally the spawn of Satan, so...
Yeah, and basically we're not giving them full price anything right now.
Like, I purchased from their store for some things.
Well, that was only because you wanted to support Discotech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I want to pre-order The Eminence and Shadow Season 2 because we had a really fun time watching the first season. Crunchyroll has it on discount for pre-order. I can get it for $5 less by pre-ordering it from Sentai Filmworks directly, including their shipping costs. Like, if Discotech has another distributor, they would be, outside of just Amazon or Crunchyroll, we would basically be abandoning Crunchyroll entirely.
Yeah.
So does anyone besides me want to see Monster Zero, Getter Emperor, and Idion in the same Robot Wars game? If we had a game with all three of those cosmic destroyers in one game, then we must be facing some truly terrifying shit.
Like, I would side with Mazinger Zero just for them to blip Idion out of existence. Like,
You know what?
Idion feels like it's still the most malicious of the three because Getter Emperor is preservation going wild. Zero is the impediment of I'm done with this, knock it off, or I'm ending it all. Idion is just like inciting conflict just to have the excuse to kill everything.
Like, the funny thing is, I can see a scenario where maybe the entire point of the game is you're trying not to piss off the Idion to be like that.
You know, it would actually be kind of interesting if it was basically side with three robot overlords. Side with one of three robot overlords. Idion, Mazinger Zero, or Getter Emperor.
Like, that could be like a 3-route split kind of thing.
And then the fourth route is neither. Which would make it harder,
Well,
but...
none of the above. Neither is choosing.
Yeah,
choosing between two options.
That's what he meant.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
I wasn't disagreeing with the sentiment. I was just grammar.
Yeah, grammar is important.
Yeah.
You end your sentence with a preposition.
Don't be that guy. But I do want to see Ideon in a modern Robot Wars game simply because I want to just annihilate waves of enemies with the Ideon gun. That thing is stupid busted. Like, it is a gun that can punch through dimensions and just... It has a 100% success rate against anything.
For a ship, I want the... What's the name of the Outlaw... I want the Outlaw Star to be
the Outlaw Star in a game, that would slap.
Yeah.
Like, actually, that's a good idea. Do a bunch of the series that are out in the cosmos together. Like, that'll reduce the chances of getting stuck on UC Gundam content. Like, do King Ogre, do Outlaw Star, do one of the Yamato stories, so you know you're away from Earth, trying to save for stuff. Because I think a lot of these series that are more outside of Earth's influence don't get the attention they do, or it's like Gunsword and you set it on Mars.
You know what actually would be cool? If the Outlaw Star in a Super Robot Wars game had a modified caster cannon. Basically, like you plug in the caster gun into a cannon, and you just basically shoot it, and then.
Or the Outlaw Star is one of its attacks, rams the enemy, and then everybody that has an actual ground assault ability, aka Aisha, Suzuka, and Jean, dive out of the Outlaw Star and attack on the down low. Kind of like the Boss Borot's ability with the...
Then it also has that epic ramming attack at the end of the series, you know, when they're at the Galactic Ley Line.
They do that twice, technically, and the second time is the one at the Galactic Ley Line. And yeah, I was also thinking of Anja's attacks, where she opens the cockpit and fires with the rifle alongside the Vilcus.
First off, KX Hunter. Hello, how are you doing today? Here in Latin America, we are getting Gundam Seed Freedom theatrical runs.
And the box office count rises.
A new person in the chat, Dave Peacock's 4 Electric. Have you seen the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady?
That is a long title, and I don't believe we've even heard of it.
TJ Toku, I want to see Gurren Lagann use Yamato as an actual gun.
That would be funny.
No, it would be even funnier. In the Daikon 4, you know, like that classic anime opening that was made for a Japanese sci-fi convention. Hideaki, like Gainax at the time, had a shot of the Super Dimension Fortress Macross, you know, the original one, have Captain Harlock's ship docked on one arm and the Yamato on the other.
Actually, that's another one they could do. They could easily put Macross Delta in a Super Robot Wars game.
They really should. They really should. There is no, like, Frontier was like the series that got put into a lot of Robot Wars games for a long time. But the fact that Delta hasn't received that just blows my mind.
I think it's they're gun shy about it just because of the whole Harmony Gold bullshit. Like, if they can actually do proper physical releases for all the Macross content over here without Harmony Gold pulling any bullshit, they might actually do that for the next one. At least that's my hope. Because, again, that's another out in the depths of space series. They could do that to make it a running theme.
Oh, by the way, for those who didn't know what I was talking about, so was it the 80s? I want to say it was the 80s. Before Studio Gainax became like the juggernaut that they would become, that they later became, a group of animators, including Hideaki Anno, got together to create like a short promotional anime film for like one of Japan's premier sci-fi conventions at the time,
which was, I believe, still named Daikon.
Yeah, Daikon. And so like, if you ever have a chance, look it up. It is a surreal trip through the 80s.
It is starring a girl in a not Playboy bunny outfit, but still a rabbit girl outfit.
Yeah, all while the song Twilight from Electric Light's Orchestra is playing, and it is just jam-packed with like references all over the place. It is like every
references to 80s and 70s and 80s anime.
Yeah, like if there's a frame there, it has a reference in it. It is actually a fascinating piece of animation history.
I think I have to go through the caves to get more moonstones because I don't think I can get up to certain places.
Yeah. Also, as a point of comparison, look up the live-action series Aoi Kono, aka Blue Blazes. I believe Overtime subtitled it a long time ago. It is a fictional, exaggerated account of the animation school days of Hideaki Anno and a lot of other classic-era animators and directors. They even spoofed the Hideaki Anno's student film Ultraman transformation thing. I've actually used clips from it infrequently and stuff. It's a really good, fun series.
Dear Crystal, hey Alexis, which is better? Idol lesbians, magical girl lesbians, or female mecha pilot lesbians? Why not all three? All lesbians are good. Except for the ones that are villainous, in which case they're bad, but they're also good because they're
embracing their true selves.
And oh god, I've gone cross-eyed.
You can't win. Like, on the one hand, they're supporting gay rights. On the other hand, they're terrible people.
Terror of Death, also Super Robot Wars needs another swing at Gaigar cross better, man. God, 30 botched that.
Yeah.
30 so botched in that.
There are so many things that 30 botched, and you only are more... The more you're aware of the other series, the more you understand how much they botched it.
DJ Toku, I will die on the hill that Macross should have been in Super Robot Wars B, as I think Yamato will and it fit together perfectly.
Davis Hayden, hate to repeat myself, but I would like to recommend the fanfiction Hero Academia DxD. It's still ongoing and is very fun to read. I've heard of it, I found it on a read list, it's not a major priority.
HJ5s, can Super Robot Wars only have giant mechs or can it have human-sized ones?
It's had some human-sized ones. The mobile games have had stuff like Scribed in it. It's just the smaller it gets, the smaller the mecha gets, the less likely those mechs would be that viable in proper circumstances of the power tier scaling they get into.
It depends on if the human-sized mecha can they punch up way above their weight class?
Let's put it this way: the Graton from Nadia and the Secret of Blue Water is basically the size of a Tesla Cybertruck. It is also twice as effective as a Tesla Cybertruck.
To be fair, a monkey on a unicycle is more effective than a Tesla Cybertruck. Bradley Harris, if you support gay rights, you can also support gay wrongs as well. You know, you're right. Welcome to capitalism.
God, I want it.
Well, back to another week in the arena.
But to answer the general question, any mecha series can be viable for Robot Wars. The question is, can it actually how does it intermingle with the series that you want to what is the story you want to tell? Can it facilitate that story well? And will it be something different enough so that way you don't get into everybody feels the same?
Or people are underutilized in it by having too many other characters. Yeah, because, as I've been showcasing with X, there are things that are not wrong to put in a Super Robot Wars game. It's just the question of the story engine and whether those series would work well together. Buddy Complex, as I point out throughout the X reviews, has no place to be there in the way they want it to be.
Oh my god, so many Yetis! Why are there so many Yetis?
Why couldn't they be ostriches?
That'd probably be worse.
Why would it be worse? And then it shows the ostrich pulling out a...
That's a different death animation.
I was frozen today!
Issue price, because I'm thinking you probably couldn't put Ultraman in because not robot, but then there's the manga / Netflix anime where it's basically just Ultra with Iron Man suit. Yeah, that Ultraman timeline, the one with the powered suits, that series was in Super Robot Wars 30 already. They've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's... And then also there was that one time, I think it was in Super Robot Wars F, where Master Aegis straight up beat to death the Ava Unit 1. Because he's Master Aegis, of course he could do that.
Rather, it's okay weird to ask, but would Tenkai Knights be eligible for SRW? I know it's obscure, but technically they're robots. I'm not familiar with Tenkai Knights. Yeah, John, I think part of the problem is just you start walking straight into the nests so they cluster around you.
I'm just gonna try and find each of the... Son of a... Oh, come on! They're surrounded! It's not fair!
Run, man! Run! It ain't worth it, man!
Run, bitch! Run!
Wait, actually stay still so you can collect it.
That was a horrible plan!
Mommy! I think this is why this area got the Yeti Award.
They created
the Yeti Award.
For this.
Because of just... You get swarmed. Like, if you don't have some max...
They're ambush predators.
Who knew Yetis were ambush predators?
I mean, they're never seen until they want to be.
Exactly.
Okay. Alright.
No, you need one more.
One more.
Yeah, there was a...
Oh god.
Right there.
Oh god! Leave me alone!
Run!
I think he just walked into another field close to a bunch of them instead of turning straight around.
I have to go straight to the Mystic because he's right there. Rocket boots, don't fail me now!
You had rocket boots this whole time?
Oh, thank God Almighty.
Hello? We've got more moonstones.
No.
Do people like that Ultra anime? Because I remember not being that interesting. The manga was better.
Sensations are illusions. Possessions are merely visions.
All right.
What is this guy smoking, and where can I get some?
Traded for a vision of
I'm still convinced he's smoking the moonstones.
Learn much, young one.
Okay.
Now bring me more moonstones, and riches shall be your reward.
I hate you.
Okay, so how much do you get for that?
I don't know.
Do we want to fight stick
I just want to go. I want to get through this. What time is it?
Time for more grinding?
That's...
I have to get the hit.
It's 8:07.
Oh, thank God. Still on time.
Here, Crystal, can you name an example of an anime version that is a lot better than the manga? If you want a recent example, probably Bleach 1000 Year Blood War arc, because they got a chance to elaborate on stuff that Tight Kubo in his exhaustion just could not get to.
Right, and because I believe it's pretty much confirmed that the reason why the 1000 Year Blood War arc in the manga turned out the way it did was because of exhaustion. Like, he had a vision, he had a plan,
and his editors kept screwing him over, so he became less and less enthused as things progressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like once you hit that point of creative burnout, it's hard to just progress anymore to doing more stuff. It's kind of the state I'm in now, where I just need to say, I'm done, I need to recharge.
You know what you need to do, John? You need to get on the trolley.
Oh, by the way, both the puppet's voiced by David Kay, and James Earl Taylor voices the scientist, the hypnotist.
Use it wisely.
Yeah, I hear it.
Do not even think about it.
To use the Hypnomatic, target a receiver bot and press circle to take control of the robot.
Time!
Die, my pretties, die!
Die, motherfucking steel pool! Die, motherfucking steel pool!
Kill them all, Sean. Kill them all.
Go. This is going to make me angry. I should probably just move forward.
Just keep moving forward.
You can't just write your characters stating their emotions. That makes me angry.
Move backward, gain 1. Move forward, gain 2.
What the?
Get on the taxi.
Get on the taxi. You're gonna see Robert De Niro.
That's a deep cut.
So, am I going back to the...
What do you...
Okay, I guess I know how to use it, so...
Where are you going?
Back to the beginning.
Yep, looks like it.
Is that it?
And we have to explore the moon.
No.
Well, you see, the moon will always be there.
Except for when Piccolo destroys it. Moon!
We are the Moonanites, and we are...
Okay. Now.
TJ Toku, apparently Kubo was getting screwed by editors at least as far back as the Soul Society arc.
From the way I heard it, it's like he was having a difficult time getting the writers on board his ideas, so he was battling them for some of it, but yeah, it just got worse over time.
It always sucks. I know how it feels. I was working on a Warhammer fanfic myself, and I was doing pretty well, and people liked it. But I was just combined with work.
Robot has a blast ray. Press circle to shoot enemies.
It was just getting
too much. To exit the robot, press triangle.
This is going to make me angry.
You're about 412? Yeah, look crazy with a can opener.
I always loved the Bender having a hatred of the giant magnet can opener. It's like, you suck, you monster! You killed my father. Now you've come back for me.
But it made Bender sing show tunes.
Yeah, but it also crippled him. So you can kind of see the ups and downs of that.
I am but a robot. I have no will of my own.
I am Bender. Please insert girder.
I will kill my brethren. You will die like all the rest. Why must my brain be taken over? Help me.
Brothers.
I have no will.
Why? Why was I programmed to feel pain?
Blur.
Why was I programmed with love for my fellow robots? And why must I kill them?
Why are we all dancing in this endless waltz of life?
To be like the human. Why? Why was that not part of the plan? We just made a bunch of robot media jokes back to back to back.
For those who don't know,
also,
the last...
Tom, you know what's really messed up? You killed all those robots just so you can raise the water. That winds up killing all the robots, so...
They were saying that I remember hearing like Kubo does not like Oda. I'm not sure how true that is. I don't think that one's true. They've done some cross-promotional stuff. It's like it might just be a work ethic and recognition thing, but I don't think it's a personal beef.
Probably it's just two people just may like each other, but they just don't work well together. It happens.
Plasma coil! I'll put a shock to your system.
I miss Static Shock.
I need to get... Is that complete series on Blu-ray yet?
I don't know.
I think they might have. I don't know. Please don't quote me on that.
Pizza delivery.
Hey, nice digs.
Yeah. It's a little remnant from my previous life.
You were reincarnated?
Oh, no. My Megacorp days. They've got a
does
very
reincarnation
generous
exist in the
bonus
Ratchet and Clank
package.
universe?
I guess it does, according to
Right.
Clank.
So now that you've got your ID badge, how do we take out the protopet?
Very
Watch
carefully.
this.
Okay, you could just tell us instead of sending us to watch a video.
Why, they come from Megacorp, dear.
That's right, Mrs. Robot.
What?
All of the protopets in the galaxy come from right here.
Like, I
in
know they
our
made these
factory.
ads before they actually
Your little friend
scripted
is lovingly
to
extracted
stitch
from
the game to get the
original
story together,
protopet.
but come on.
Each protopet is given a name and birth certificate.
You could do
that
this
is
on
unique.
top of that.
Our training system helps mold your pet into a wonderful
Oh
friend
my
that you'll
God!
cherish
No wonder they're
forever.
insane.
So the next time your child asks,
Mommy, where do protopets come from?
you can answer with confidence. They come from
Megacorp.
Megacorp.
That factory is using the original protopet to produce all the others.
Exactly. If we can take out the original protopet, that'll shut him down permanently.
20% off a complete service at Groovy Lube.
Oops. Wrong one.
Groovy Lube?
This will deactivate the door to the protopet duplication area. I'll meet you
A
there.
20% off
Sure you
coupon
wanna
says
split up?
Chipotle.
Well,
What do you
Megacorp's
think I
four-way
am?
fences
Cheap?
are nasty.
What's in
Two
pocket?
ships, there's a good chance at least one of us will get through.
Good thinking. Just be careful.
DJ Toku, Clank believes in reincarnation. Interesting. I mean, he is a time god, so...
Aren't we all time gods?
No. No, we're
No.
not.
We're not even time lords.
Yeah,
I
that's
wish.
right. We are not Time Lords. Totally, yeah, you're right. We are what regular humans.
Bradley Harris, who needs abusive parents when you have Megacorp?
Megacorp.
Megacorp, a subsidiary of Conhuge Co.
And Globochem.
Enter ship?
Yeah, you passed by that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just. Guess I need to use this to get back to the ship. I'm gonna bring this back to the ship so I can avoid the Yetis.
Or wait, it's pointing an arrow to something.
Yeah, it's for raritanium. I'm just gonna leave it here.
DJ Toku, I would settle being a time squire. I'm sorry, DJ Toku, but by royal decree, you are now a time jester.
They'll be forced to speak in odd pentameter forever.
No, worse. I force you to speak in limericks. And John, if you're not careful, I'll make you speak in Limp Bizkit songs.
Why? Why would you be so cruel?
Do you ask the sun, why does it shine?
Wow, that is foreboding.
What is?
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah, the way it's in the...
Man, Monsters Inc. looks different than what I remember.
Now, am I missing out on some things by just going straight to this? Probably yes.
But also, we want to destroy capitalism.
Also, have you tried setting it to Wombo?
Oh, wait, setting the protopets to Wombo size? Good idea. If they become giant kaijus, they'll be much easier to hit.
Yeah, of course we need to use the Hypnomatic.
Hey, well, send us a ridiculous fetch quest for it if we're going to use it.
Yeah.
Claire, help me.
This receiver bot can hypnotize other robots. To hypnotize another robot, aim, then press circle.
I have no will. I am but a one. Your mind is mine. No, no, better. I can't believe I missed this. Assuming direct control.
Took you a while. I was deliberately trying to not make the Mass Effect reference.
I'm just.
Yeah, right there.
I was just trying to do some calibrations.
Really, Shepard? Okay, probing Uranus.
Oh my, don't mind.
Which is gassy and pretty big.
Oh, wait, you calling me my ass bad, you jerk?
The fact that you could actually do that and they knew exactly what people would do for it.
Like,
so yeah, I love having this really nostalgic new canon that I'm part Yokai.
Down to the wire on that one.
So now Ratchet has become a swinger.
Well, they're stuck in a swing state, so...
Wait, they're stuck in a swing state? Damn, I don't want to wish anybody to live in Florida.
Florida's not a swing state.
What it? Oh yeah, swing state would have swings in it, that's right.
and it would be, and there would be a chance of going either way. Booyakasha!
Booyakasha? Is that a new spell? Nerd.
I still love that one of the robots, even when you bisect them, they can still attack, kick you with their legs.
Ah, kick you. Alright, so robots, I have won. Nonsense, I can still fight.
Look, you stupid bastard, you got no arms then! Yes, I am. Look! Just a flesh wound. Just a scrap wound.
Once again, gravity is John's enemy.
Yes, it is.
Gravity.
Have you considered shooting them before you try to jump it? Across?
Have you? Alright, John. You got this. You got this. Being shot at, but he still got it. You can't keep throwing balls at people and expecting it to work, John.
A suck cannon would be the worst weapon for the protopets.
Suck. Man, this suck cannon is working. What's that? Oh no! The first clogged up the tube!
Black Century King, I can't answer that question definitively because I have never played any of the Jak and Daxter games.
Oh, what's the question?
How much would Ruby be changed if they had more elements of Jak and Daxter in it?
It would be... I don't know.
I really don't know. I mean, I've played Jack 1 and Jack 3, but I've never played Jack 2.
Yeah?
It's funny, I just kind of go from Jack 1 to Jack 3.
I mean, all I know about it is it's the one where Jack becomes beefy buff boy.
Becomes edgy. Mr. Edgy.
Edgy McEdgerton, Edgerville. It's always edgy.
I honestly like it a bit more than 3, mostly just because it feels like... The problem I have with 3 is really not Naughty Dog's fault, it's just that a lot of it feels a bit half-baked, that they couldn't do all the things they had probably wanted to. They got a lot, it was still functional, and it had a beginning, middle, and end. It's just that they apparently wanted to do more.
Pure Crystal, hey, what piece of apples do you guys hate the most?
I mean, I basically want like 2 pizza toppings. Not 2 pizza toppings. 1 pizza topping. Pepperoni. That's it. Either a cheese or a pepperoni pizza. That's all I want. That's all I need.
But if I am going to instill in my kids the idea that pineapple is on a pizza is the devil's work, and if you do it, then you will go to the super.
What about anchovies, though?
Ew, anchovies.
Ew,
no.
even worse. What is wrong with you, you sicko?
And pineapple at least tastes sweet.
Like, I know you don't, like,
I thought it was supposed to be salty.
It's a bit salty.
It's not salty unless it's been on the internet.
Fair.
Oh, and that new Futo PI Begins Night movie.
Yeah.
I can't believe they got Kaiba to voice of Kyuchi.
Ishifies, they're disappointed because stuff from Movie War 2010/Core. Yeah, because that's actually the 5th volume of the Futopia manga, them recapping and expanding on those events. So, them doing that movie is actually them doing volume 5 of the manga. Them doing it as a movie allows them to get it out of the way without taking up an entire season of further adaptation. Like, people who are happy with the live-action version have it. Those who don't want the interruptions from the movie war crossovers can get it in isolation. There's value to it that way, and there's supposed to be extended scenes and interaction content with the characters, and I'm all for that.
And also, more people need to be exposed to Kamen Rider Skull. Seriously, that guy is too cool for school.
Now, the only way that movie will be bad is if they keep doubling down on the Shotaro abuse, because, as I've said about it several times, Futopiai's biggest failing is not catching at all that Shotaro actually is hard-boiled and the only competent and the only sane man in that group, and he's usually the one in the right. Them constantly hamstringing the half-boiled thing undermines that narrative direction. And before people say Ryu, I will remind people that Ryu Terui, when he was first introduced, was all about trying to murder people who had only had tangential connection to the guy that actually ruined his life. He needed to be dialed back. The one who dialed him back was Shotaro. Ergo, again, emphasizing that Shotaro is the one that's generally in the right. David said, what a friend of mine has said, anchovy pizza needs to be made properly. If they are as salty as Kotaku, then you know you made it wrong. That is a legitimate burn. Bravo.
Damn, David Hayden gets the burn award. Does he run a fire gym?
Third person, you think Tokime was made so that Riku Sanji can give Shotaro a girlfriend? Shotaro has 2 hands.
He has 2 hands. Alright, you need to stop thinking in, like, you know...
I think it's just another character introduction in the same vein as Philip, just to be able to tell new stories, because here's the thing. In every series Riku Sanji has done, he has had an alluded gay relationship. He has unfortunately not been able to confirm a lot of them, but he has characters that can read as homosexual. So I don't think it's a case of he's against Shotaro and Philip being shipped together. I think it's a case of, I'm not going to be allowed to do this openly, because Toei. They can tease it all they want, but they can never, like, truly confirm a lot of that, because of, you know, standards and practices and PTA censorship. Because that does exist in Japan as well. It's just formatted differently due to cultural differences.
Turn of Death. Question, what are your thoughts on the other Fang form?
Fan Trigger with the bow and arrow is awesome. I'm not certain what Fang Metal does. I think it's just more spikes.
I'm not sure, but it looks awesome.
Yeah.
But Fang Trigger?
Like, everyone has wanted the alternate Fang forms. Hell, there's a reason why I promoted Bizet 08's customs back in the double review, but at least when I wrote the double review, it was before Futokiai introduced that Shotaro and Philip's relationship as double had improved to the point where they could use more than Joker in the Fang forms. And Rikasandra did originally give a reason for why Fang Joker was the only one they could do at that time of the series.
Make sure that I don't get killed.
Don't! Kira Crystal, if that's the case, then how come the couple in Sailor Moon got away with it?
Haruka and Michiru, because they weren't explicit about it in the anime as they were in the manga.
Like, I mean, like in the anime, it's basically, oh yeah, they're totally gay if you know what you're looking at. But in the manga, oh, whew,
it is super gay.
Like we are like full-on rainbows.
Yeah, it's generally toned down in the anime.
Which is funny because a lot of the time, stuff gets really toned up in anime.
Bradley Harris, I think Fang Metal turns the metal shaft into a dual-bladed spear.
Or scythe, that would be nice. Yeah, Fang Metal should have the scythe. They should.
I feel like there's something up there, but I don't know. There's nothing! What's the point?
You have the high ground to shoot things at?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, John, you have the high ground. You can snipe them.
You can bounce them from afar.
You can't, I bet you can't toss the balls that far. God. These enemies are tough.
Actually, but I think it would be cool if there was a reason to make Fang Axel. Actually, there is a time where they, in the manga, where they use Extreme Form, and then for the Bicker Final Illusion, they swap in Axel over Joker, but that's just a borrowed use of the memory and not doing Cyclone Axel Extreme. That is still just a fanon form that got into a couple games. Well, not, I shouldn't say fanon form. That's a extra canonical form that never actually gets used ever. Well, not an extra canonical, theoretical form. Bradley Harris, didn't the OG series make it clear Turi and Philip becoming double would be a betrayal of Shoko? Yes, it did.
You are almost dead.
Yes, I am.
Damn, I am.
It's too bad these games don't have health packs, like portable ones.
Yeah. That would be useful.
Okay, I was gonna say if John Brett gets
If I
grabbed.
fell from that, I'd be pissed. You can't beat me. I'll launch you to the ends of the earth.
Pure Crystal, have you guys seen Love After World Domination? I own the Blu-ray. That's a fun series.
It is.
I like what we saw. I am not. If anyone, just ahead of time, if anyone asks the Loser Rangers anime,
We're not interested in that one, really.
not even. It's. I'm usually fine with interesting takes on new takes on things, or slightly darker within reason.
That one seems just a bit mean-spirited.
It really is. It comes off as mean-spirited,
especially with how they labeled it in the localization.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to make a Sentai version of The Boys.
Yeah, the naming of it is not any better because it's not even
accurate
Sentai version of The Boys. It's like they're ripping out the Sentai references by conflating them with Power Ranger stuff, and that's part of the problem with the names for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, John, remember, don't run into the lasers.
Yes.
Run towards the light.
No, the lasers also have light, so don't run towards them. He is, John, he is the devil. He is trying to dissuade you.
You should eat Harry.
See what I mean?
Harry? From Harry and the Hendersons? Oh boy, that Yeti is a nice fellow.
You racist little... There's a Sasquatch, you fool!
Okay, and
yes, the Yeti's one to kill you in this game.
Yeah, how dare you confuse a Yeti for a Sasquatch?
Alexis, clearly John was trying to mess with the Sasquatch.
Don't mess with the Sasquatch, John. Oh, have you learned nothing from summer camp?
Honestly, I think John will be one of the people who would have a good time at Camp Wannaweed.
Where's Camp Wannaweed from again?
Kim Possible.
Oh,
oh
okay.
yeah, but doesn't that camp have like freaky fish people?
Oh right, because they were dumping in the lake.
Yep.
And then Ron got traumatized
by a monkey.
Why was there a monkey at summer camp?
Why wasn't there a monkey at summer camp? It's a better question.
There isn't. It's not a better question.
You have to understand that there is no spoon.
That doesn't answer a thing. Still, I love that name, Camp Wannaweed. Just the ultimate sadness and disparity of camp.
Unfortunately, the name Camp was taken.
Yeah. Plus anyone who goes by that name gets federally investigated. But the last guy who took that name was arrested for for racketeering and for secret illicit dealings with Kentucky. I still love that. I like Camp, and I just love just the ridiculous. I felt that.
Oh, sniper rifle, that man.
Digitoku, so why do you enjoy Eminence and Shadow? I like it, but I've seen a lot of pushback as of late. We take it from the perspective of it's all a joke. It's the One Punch Man perspective. It's like the guy is such a weeaboo.
How
do I phrase this?
I think I can phrase it. Basically, if you look at it, the gag of the show as one man being so confident at what he wants to do that he is completely ignoring the plot that's unfolding around him.
He is such a complete chunibyo that his own 8th grader delusion syndrome is preventing him from seeing that the more interesting stuff that would push him to his goal, his Chuni goal of being this, like, overlord mastermind in the shadows is actually happening. That is the joke. And that's honestly what makes it fun, because it's a case where the most interesting aspects of the show do not actually involve the main character. So he's achieving his dream of being the guy who publicly is in the background, while secretly he's the reason behind why all these other events are happening. It's like, his fantasy is playing out in reality, and he himself cannot see it. I find that hilarious.
Because, like, I think, and the key detail is that when he got isekai into this new world, he made up the whole cult of Diablos, he thought he was genuinely making something up, not thinking for a moment that maybe in a world full of magic, that something like that could feasibly exist, you know?
For me, when I didn't watch it with them because I'm just kind of not interested in isekai in general, but I liked when I came in and they were it was like a tournament art, and they were making fun of, like, you know how in Yu-Gi-Oh! Whenever when the spectators would watch someone do something, the most innocuous thing, they were making fun, like, he tilted his head. It's like, what could that mean?
Right, and it's like, I learned your secret!
You're making micro movements. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? I just sneezed.
Yeah.
It's like, that is funny.
Yeah, it's like...
And the fact that it's not lampshading the joke, that's going to be the crossover for people. There are people who get the joke because it's not explained joke, and there are people who aren't going to get the joke because they didn't explain the joke. I'll put it a different way. What if you actually made Megumi the actual main character of Konosuba's main story and not just her side story? Because honestly, even in an explosion on this wonderful world, Megumi still has the same kind of energy that Sid is giving off in Eminence and Shadow. So yeah, we had fun with it. We're not taking it seriously as others might. That's why we get to have fun with it.
Right. It's like, I think from the first episode when a guy starts whipping out crowbars and talking about, like, how great they are, and did you know the best way to use a crowbar is as a crowbar? Like, if you heard that and thought it was being serious for a moment, then I think you definitely missed the joke.
Yeah.
But I think my other favorite part is just when Sid does decide to, like, get serious, he is scary, you know?
Yeah, it's like, he's clearly delusional. And it's the kind of delusional that's functional for a story like that. Also, the fact he's asexual also makes all the women that are infatuated with him work as a story device, because, oh hey, they're canonically not going to do paramour stuff. So it's fine to tease a harem that's never going to happen, because it's clearly one-sided affection instead of something you could tease at, oh, might be a possible thing.
Right. Basically, Sid is the character where he's living out the dream of any, young male who's got isekai, and he wants none of the typical trappings.
No.
Like, a handful of gorgeous women who would die for his cause? Like, I mean,
he doesn't even see them like that. That's
Yeah.
another thing that makes it work. He's still under the delusion that the fantasy thing that's actually going on is fake. So that his friends who were girls, who are now his actual minions, are just placating him for, in gratitude for him helping them when they were all younger. Not seeing that, oh hey, all these really cool things, they're based on what he gave them.
Like,
and they're spreading it outwards because they're that devoted to it.
Like, he tells, like, a bunch of stories from his world to one of the characters, what was her name?
Beta?
Beta?
Yeah.
And she starts plagiarizing, taking those stories, and becoming a best-selling author in this fantasy world, using, like, clearly, obviously plagiarized stuff.
Plagiarized to us. And there's another that's as talented as a musician, and Sid taught them Moonlight Sonata, and then they became famous because a lot of people like Moonlight Sonata because it's a really good song.
You say Moonlight Sonata, and I just automatically think of this joke about like living in Raccoon City, where everything is like just a very overcomplicated puzzle. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, okay, Spencer, how do I get into the apartment now?
Yeah.
No, I don't know how to play Moonlight Bleeping Sonata.
Yeah, HJ Fighters, that sounded kind of interesting, and then I heard his kind of interest immediately plummeted. Yeah, which is fair. There is such a glut of uninteresting isekai anime, or ones that play into the worst tropes of it, cough cough sow, that they become completely uninteresting and frustrating the longer they go along. Whereas there are others which we are more appreciative of, where they're clearly making fun of or toying with the ideas in interesting ways that people don't really think of, and usually they're for comedic effect. My Life as a Villainess All Routes Lead to Doom is one of those that's really fun to watch because it's clearly a comedy.
And also, like,
Konosuba is clear comedy on the concepts. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah. Like with My Next Life as a Villainess, I love that one because we have Katarina, who absolutely knows everything about, like, the Otome game she now finds herself in. But the hilarious part is just not... She keeps thinking of herself as, like, a third-party player, like... But
she doesn't realize she's promoted herself
right,
to main protagonist.
Right, with a harem and everything, which is funny as hell.
And her obliviousness is what makes that work, because she is trying to be smart and avoid all these bad end flags, and she's functioning on 2 brain cells.
And it's even funnier when the series evolves to a point where she winds up doing the events of the sequel of the Otome game that she finds herself in, but she hadn't really played that sequel religiously yet.
Yeah, because I think she died.
Yeah, she died like right before she was able to like really get into it. So it's one of those. Oh wait, now I'm in it.
Here, Crystal, what about that time I got reincarnated as a slime? I have never gotten a chance to see that series. I want to see it because I know that Brittany Karbowski plays the main character of Rimuru? And now Ichimichi voices Shion in that. And, you know, I like both of those actresses, so I'd like to support their projects, but the problem is every complete set has been discontinued, so I can't exactly do that.
This is it, the protopet duplication room.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had some trouble with the guards.
No problem. You're just in time. Okay, let's see if this thing works.
She is trying to tell us something.
Bye now. Enjoy the Hygienator. Remember, you bought it from Steve.
Yeah, this Steve guy looks...
Quark. Indeed. Now that I've sold
Could it be?
1 millionth Hygienator, I can finance the comeback of the greatest superhero who ever lived, Captain Quark! All I need now is a new galaxy with a new fan base, so I can rescue them from a new disaster!
Now this I like. Basically,
How did he know about the protopet since that was in top secret development anyways?
I don't know.
Sir, I do not understand.
Mr. Fizzwidget?
And this
It's a zipper gag.
I love this bit.
Like, I think this reveal would have been perfect had they not done that cutaway.
What the is going on?
I'm about to save the galaxy from the protopets, and you are about to become public enemy #1. Oh, and 2 and 3.
You used me for land development.
For capitalism.
It's showtime.
Oh, Pure Crystal, that's the other reason. I hate steelbooks. I never buy steelbook Blu-ray collections whenever I can afford it, afford to. And Reincarnated as the Slime Season 1 steelbook, that was the only way to do a complete season set before they discontinued the Part 1, Part 2s.
Howard Lang, have any of you seen or read Gushing Over Magical Girls? That's definitely a show that Guess wouldn't like. I might check it out someday, but I have too much on my plate as it is already, so...
Yeah. Like, I got a backlog as it is. Games I want to play, stuff I want to build, stuff I want to design. And of course, I have a resolution this year to either read or watch through Fairy Tail. I'm going to do that.
End the protopet threat once and for all.
That's my Elixamorph. I invented.
Ahem. Stay tuned, dear viewers, as I amplify the signal from this helixo thingy and render every protopet in the galaxy completely harmless. Allow me to demonstrate.
Oh no, you reversed the polarity.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mommy.
This is why you make sure tech like that works.
It used to. I could probably fix it.
Come on, Clank. Let's get it back.
From the belly of the beast.
Alright, now I just...
need to stock up on so much ammo, holy...
Now you must defeat the Protopet.
Yeah, it kind of is the Protopet.
It is the Protopet. It's the first Protopet. That makes it the prototype.
And I can just return the ship anytime.
If you need more guns or training.
But we are probably just die.
Yeah, but you didn't even mean to do that. Perfect.
I committed, and it will be so. It's John. It's just like Watchmen. Die, John. Oh, I too have seen the movie, the 80s horror movie Critters. No, seriously, this happened, well, maybe not with one of them, but in Critters 2, a whole bunch of these killer fuzzballs form into one giant fuzzball, and like, start rolling around town, Katamari Damacy style, and start eating people that way.
Just remember, never feed them after midnight. It's always midnight somewhere!
In this hemisphere.
HJ5, hey Des, saw the pics of your shells on Twitter. Thought about doing a shelf tour vid or just a thread on Twitter?
I mean, I could, but I've not quite reconstructed everything.
But I mean, that would be a nice little...
Yeah. I guess I've been doing it a few times, I've just never gotten around to really doing it properly.
Oh wait, they're shooting at the creature.
Luckily, this is probably one of the easiest bosses in the entire series.
Considering how difficult it was to get here,
yeah, it feels like
it trains you to be able to resist these kinds of things, especially if you're good against the Yetis.
If you survive the Yetis, you can survive this.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Hey, they're shooting at me now.
Friendly fire mode disabled.
J. Peacock's 4. Cousin It is finally taking his vengeance. Skyfire 001, they're starting a fairy type only run of Pokemon Scarlet.
You can feasibly do that these days. With how many fairy types are out there and across the types there. There's water fairy, there's fire fairy, there's grass fairy, there's grass fairy.
Lord Garo, how soon do you think Bandai will make a Masquerade of the Mighty Strike Freedom?
Considering they don't do a lot of Masquerade these days, I would place a greater bet on doing a Wheel Grade first.
Oh, for the love of God, it's bugged! Oh, never mind.
It was defying gravity!
Like, I'd almost been a P Bandai upgrade kit for the MGEX Strike Free.
It's like, hey, like going to hell, that's basic. I hope your favorite robot from a series gets put on premium Bandai and sells out instantly. It's real. It has happened.
Hey, the faster it sells out, the more frequently they do sequel runs these days. How else did we get 6 consecutive months of them putting the current season up on pre-order?
Like, by the way, I will say this. I know you won't watch it, but I will say right now that if Rose of the Recaptors gives us a scene of Talon coming in to save the day as in case of emergency, break glass kind of moment, well, first off, I hope it's the new current she's in is like a proper upgrade this time.
Instead of the trash that was the type special.
Right. And then I will consider, like, seeing all of Rose of the Recapture and try to judge it on its own merits.
Quark had him tied up in a supply closet all this time.
Gentlemen, you have my most profound gratitude.
I hope
it
so.
was nothing, sir. I'm just sorry we couldn't get the Helixomorph back.
Ew! Why'd you swallow it?
I don't know. It could take months of research and...
The battery isn't backwards.
The polarity was reversed.
Imbecilic to the very last. Oh boy.
I just have to amplify the device with Megacorp's TV transponders, and that should cure the other protopets.
Clank?
Aww.
It's okay. I can fix her. I promise.
So yeah, that was Going Commando.
Mutation complete.
Well, there is still more after the credits.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna watch that.
But overall, I like this game.
But the writing is definitely like
the writing is definitely on the wall, but the writing was an afterthought to the game design.
It was definitely on a gameplay level. This is much better than the first one, but the story in the first one is still a bit better.
Yeah, the story in the first one is more cohesive and has, actual arcs to it. Whereas this one, had it just been given a proper writer from the get-go, and not feel like a series of vignettes.
So,
what
do you
sorry.
like to do?
I'll just wait till after this.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, I know the original was thrown together, but they had more time to, develop up front.
Working at Megacorp.
So, you fellas new here? You boys should sign up for the new Probomatic. That little baby cleans you something fierce.
Ew.
I just got done testing the full body Waxinator. I am personally sporting a smooth chassis, and there are no tags on my luggage. All right then. Catch you later.
Subject 23A. Please report immediately for crotchetizer testing.
Well, duty calls.
He's so stupid he doesn't realize he's being tortured.
Oh, wait, I think
Or does he?
Fellas, nice and tight now. So you tested this, right?
We're about to.
I'm here.
Hey.
Oh, one more thing.
Time for defeated Quark, so. But yeah, I like this game. The problem is, of course, as we said before, the writing is very slapped together. It would definitely get better in the third one, though.
Yeah. Which we will probably do... No, let's see. August we're doing 14 again. July is going to be... The rest of July is going to be split between stuff Alexis I is doing. September is going to be Breaker. October is likely going to be Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, so we will not be getting to Ratchet and Clank 3 until November at the earliest.
Which is fair. But at least I finally finished this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you overcame your demons.
I beat it. I'm so happy I did. It was very, very satisfying to do, especially after all of that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna refill my thing.
It's been a mess.
It's been 1 week since we played this game.
I mean, it has since I played this game. It has been a week since I played it. But yeah, so we stop here?
Yeah, we can stop here. It's been just about 2 hours as it is.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you guys for coming by. We will have something special for next week when John is gone.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Later.
Later.